Hello crochet friends, let's get excited for BEANIE-Tastic 11. I crochet beanies for our local community and have done for years now. Usually it's beanies for babies and preemies. This year I started YouTube and have fallen in love with the support, encouragement, inspiration and togetherness of all of us globally crocheting for ourselves, loved ones, and our communities. So instead of just crocheting beanies like I have done by myself for a while, I've really enjoyed joining Litsa from Coco's Crochet with her weekly Beanie of the Week, in her vlogs, and Laura of Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming in her adventures of Bod Hatterpalooza. This is G Crochet Off the Hook. I'm G, Geraldine, sharing my crochet adventures. And batch 11 has some more fantastic beanies. There are 8 of us. There are 8 of these beanies for us to go over. And I must admit it's been a while since I posted all the details on Instagram. This video has taken a little time to come out, but the beanies are still fantastic and I'm very happy to share them with you all. So I will be checking to see where I need to start and all the deets that I have on them in this book. So I'm going to, they've been sitting in this basket patiently waiting for me to go through them so that they can head off for a wash and join the stash that I am growing and will hand out for donations as something is asked for in the community, or they will be stacking up nicely during the summer months for winter next year. So let's start off with a Bod Hatterpalooza beanie, and the first one I have is the baseline beanie, which is not that one, it's this one. I did use the same color yarn for these 2 beanies. I did. So the first one is this gorgeous baseline beanie. It's a tutorial by Crystal from Bag O Day. I used a 5mm hook, Kismet's 1 ball, 1 scarf acrylic yarn in the color Bougainvillea. It is a top-down beanie. We started with all this lovely texture. And we had, I think these were in the 3rd loop. And this was a lovely textured beanie to make up. And it has some good stretch in it. And with the same colorway yarn, I also made the first beanie I have here for Litsa's Beanie of the Week, which was the Back to Basics beanie. So these were both used with from the same skein of yarn, the Kismet's 1 ball, 1 scarf, Bougainvillea color, also a 5mm hook, and this is a great beginner beanie to crochet. It's the Back to Basics, it's also top down, so you crochet your crown to fit. Usually it's 6 inches, and I did want to just share a little tip that I have for myself when crocheting beanies. I have learned over the years to use the tools that I have on hand, which is my hand, and usually if a beanie for an adult is required and the crown, which I won't quite be able to fit on here now, but if the crown measures from the bottom of my palm to the top of my finger, then I know that that is a good adult size beanie. If it measures from the bottom of my palm to about this side of my finger over here, it's teen and toddler size, will fit well. And usually when I'm crocheting for toddlers and say 6 to 12 months, as long as the crown measures here I know that it's going to fit, have a good fit. And then of course for 0 to 3 months and for preemies, if the crown fits on my hand, I think it's 10 centimeters, which is 4 inches, then I know that it's a good size for preemies and 0 to 3 month olds. So this was a great beanie where I just used those little guides I told you now. As I was making this crown section, I was sort of gauging it on my hand and say, yes, if I actually stopped here, that was going to fit for a baby. If I stopped there, it was going to fit for a toddler. Over there would be a good young adult size beanie, and if the crown fits the whole of my palm, then I know that I'm going to have a good fit for an adult size beanie. So from the same colorway and skein of yarn, we had the Back to Basics beanie. It's a Bag O Day tutorial, and the Baseline beanie, which is also a Bag O Day tutorial. So those were the first two. Oh, I do have the yarn here. This is what it looked like. It's Kismet's Aran 1 ball 1 scarf. For both those beanies I used a 5mm crochet hook, and that was the Bougainvillea colorway. Good. Then moving on to our next beanie that I have here. Oh, this was an interesting make. This is also a Bod Hatapalooza beanie, and this one is, I have a tail end I didn't weave in. I will get to that before I throw it in the washing machine. And this was the golf style hat. It's the golfer's cap. I used Kismet's Premium Large Aran with a 5.5mm hook, and it's also 100% acrylic. If memory serves me with this one, I must say it's really easy to do. Use your stitch markers as Crystal guides you to. I did do this little flap part a little bit different. I think I increased it a bit differently to the tutorial, and then I also have stitched this little peak to the top brim here with 1, 2, 3 stitches, so that when it is on the head it doesn't pull a gap between this section over here. But otherwise it's a really great golfer's cap, and the yarn that I used was perfect for it. This beautiful Kismet's Aran Melange. So that's our golfer's cap. And then we have a beanie that we did with Coco's Crochet, and I used I have the wrong beanie with me. You see, it has been a while. It's this beautiful beanie that's next on the list here, which was a beanie of the week. It's a crochet pattern by Viv Crochets, and I used some yarn ends that I had left, which are these over here. It's a cotton mix by Elite Yarns, and you can see, even though I was using yarn ends, I have these 2 tiny little bits left over still. This is 85% cotton and 15% polyester, and it made the most gorgeous granny stitch bucket hat. I used a 5.5mm, and as I said, it's a tutorial by Viv Crochets. So I just used some of this red with an orange together, and then I went from the light pink into the red, and then I ended with some of the pink as it finished off. And here I did hold 2 strands together to get, and it is quite a sturdy quite a sturdy bucket hat. It's a little bit too pretty for me. I wouldn't normally wear a beanie like this, a bucket hat, but this will definitely be a beautiful gift for somebody receiving that. Good, then you see I shouldn't let the beanies build up like this because there's lots to read through in between making the beanies. The next beanie is a Bod Hatapalooza beanie, and this one was Fairy Tales of Yesterday. And for this one I used a 10mm crochet hook, and all of this yarn, I don't have any more left from this skein. It is 100% acrylic. It's made in the Czech Republic, and it just has a colorway 119. It's absolutely gorgeous, soft yarn to work with, and I did also double strand it though. And this is the Fairy Tales of Yesterday's Bag O' Day tutorial. This was a gorgeous beanie, and if I remember, you can actually reverse it as well. I have a feeling I skipped a beanie. So that was another Bod Hatapalooza. Our next beanie, I used Kismet's Stonewash Bulky. I have used it, and I still do have some of it left. A lovely big chunky beanie by It's Erin B. It was a beanie of the week on Coco's Crochet, and this is 90% acrylic and 10% polyamide, and this was a lovely quick beanie to make up, and you can also wear it with the brim folded up. This was a lovely quick beanie to make. It's Erin B, and I used the Kismet Stonewash Bulky. I think this would be a great beanie to make as a winter stash beanie for donations. That's that one. Good, good. Then we have I had lots of other crochet in between the beanies, so I'm just getting my bearings. Oh yes, and then we had beanie of the week, but it was another Bag O' Day beanie by Crystal, and this was called the Caterpillar beanie. And for this one I used, I've stuck it inside the beanies. I don't have all the colors with me, but I did use an apple green, a peacock, and a mistletoe green. And I made, these are all owl yarns. I did use a 6mm hook. I did not double the strands. And I made 3 caterpillar beanies. So we had this one. I just swapped up the colors a little bit. So we had this one, and I think this was the smallest one. But just changing up the colors made them all look unique. And yes, it would look like there are lots of color changes, but as I love when Litsa gives us tips, because as she's done the beanie and then given us the beanie of the week to do, I did carry up the colors inside the beanie, so there weren't a whole lot of ends to weave in. But aren't these just fun beanies to make up? And these are all small adult and toddler size beanies that I got. 3 of them, all 100% acrylic. And for the donations that I make, even for the babies and the preemies, I must say that the places that I take donations to, they do recommend an acrylic yarn. One, especially if it's going out to soup kitchens or to people that are don't have washing facilities specifically. Acrylic is a great wearable to be able to wash and dry very quickly, and also they don't normally need to fear anybody having being allergic to people that donate natural fibers, beanies that are made of natural fibers. So yes, we will add these to our stash. And then the last beanie for batch 11, look at us flying through it faster than I could have hoped, which is awesome. Put those yarn ends in there. Was a beanie that I have made before. This one was made with Bod Hatapalooza, and it's called the No Rhyme or Reason beanie. And I do remember that I did make this beanie earlier in the year. It could have been around February already. It was one of the beanie of the weeks with Glitzer, and it was real joy to make it again, because this is a fabulous beanie. This is the No Rhyme or Reason beanie. Just so much fun stitches, and to do the tutorial with Crystal again, because she has this lovely way of saying, well, and we'll just add this one here, and then you'll end up with this fabulous looking beanie, again from top down. Now, the interesting thing about this particular beanie when I made it is that I used yarn that is new to me to make this beanie, and I used a 6mm hook. These strands are doubled, and it's the yarn that's interesting with this fabulous beanie. The yarn that I used is Himalaya Medical Baby. I had this left from this one skein. Now I have got a few balls, skeins, packets of this yarn. It is said to be odor-free, anti-allergic, antifungal, and antibacterial. It is it says it's 70% acrylic and 30% Amicore. 100-gram ball gives you 310 meters or 339 yards. And it is this is definitely, I'd say, a 3-weight yarn, sport weight, doubled up. This is, I'd say, a teen size, not an adult size. When I had actually measured the crown when we got there, I thought, well, I could either add and make it for an adult, but I do need to start growing my stash again for beanies for babies. So I did that during the course of the year as well. And for me, sometimes that just means making the beanie that we have selected for a particular week and not trying to bulk it up to the yarn that's suggested by the person giving the tutorial. And then normally I just have a mini-me which is a baby size or a toddler size beanie, but in that particular tutorial stitch that we have for that week. So that's it. Those are the 8 fantastic beanies for batch 11. And yes, hopefully I'll have more for you later during the week. That's all for now. I hope you all enjoy doing your beanies. I love seeing everybody's beanies in the slideshows over at Coco's Crochet and Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming. And I really hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Until I see you all again, happy crocheting!